Walk into this one, I'm a little confused on this one because I feel like the houses that normally get wrecked are not at this price point.
Yeah, dude, it's a super nice house. Much more expensive rent, so over $2,000 a month in rent. I think like a well qualified tenant, so good credit, good income. Unfortunately, a foster parent of like 4 children, and so we hadn't really had any complaints with it, but just recently she got behind on the rent. And then I think during that process, we realized that the house was just being left in complete filth. And then now that since she's moved out, we've gotten inside, I guess, hearing from some of the neighbors that it was almost kind of right out of or more recently that she was like, you see all the flies and stuff, just not keeping the property clean at all.
Bro.
So they've already pulled out all the carpets then, and so in the like laminate flooring, so the stinks in here, right? So as bad as it smells, it will smell twice as bad before they go on carpet.
I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up LVP, right? Like if you're treating it right.
LVP, so it was laminated. This was an actual house that the owner of it who worked for us, he lived in here for a while, so this was like a nice high-end house when they lived in it. Maybe it was rented out, so it had laminate. Laminate, it's cheaper. We used to use it sometimes, but it does absorb moisture, unfortunately. So that's why the laminate ruined now. So it'll probably go back with LVP, but it's like when it's not taken care of, it can get ruined pretty easily. This whole house walls up line.
Yeah, well, currently black mountain.
Fantastic.
Was it tore open like that, or
No, he did.
yeah?
It had those little holes, so he ripped it open because there was water on the floor in there.
Is that a tenant problem or is that a house problem?
This.
I think somebody left the windows open.
Well, it's either that or they were in the back. Could be getting water up to too. It could be either.
Either way, I mean, you got to blame on whole pros. Probably gonna have to tear up this whole wall.
Dang.
Crazy because like all this filth and the scratch. I mean, this house looked brand new, like remodel when this tenant moved in.
Do you know how long the tenant was here, Chase?
Maybe about a year, or maybe like slightly longer, but not long enough to create this much damage and filth.
Do you know, like, will this cause any problems for her as like a foster parent?
Dude, I mean, it is there's a huge need for people to step in and raise children in the foster system, but like if they're not going to keep good living conditions, in my opinion.
This is an eviction, correct?
Yes. So now she left in lieu of eviction, but the eviction process had already been started because of the amount of damage that's been caused to the house. We'll see the eviction, basically, not the eviction, but we'll get a court order for the damages for collections. So this will get sent to a company to do like forced collections through, like they'll garnish wages and stuff to collect this.
Do you know, like, based on like what you're looking at, like the scope of damage, just ballpark, how much this is going to cost?
Because of the size of it. So because this is over a 2,000 square foot house, it's probably going to be at least $20,000 or close to $15,000 to $20,000
For a turnover.
For a turnover. No. So this is like the worst case scenario for real estate investor or landlord is to have something like this happen to this nice of a house. I unfortunately had that happen. Maybe just had it happen on a smaller house. Like it was a 1,300 square foot house. Very similar like amount of damage caused. I think that was about $11,000 for a house almost half the size.
To put things in perspective for like somebody who's thinking about, being a real estate investor, this same house, if you had like a wonderful tenant in place who left it in good condition, what would the turnover? What would it cost?
I've got a couple rentals that was just as nice as this one was. Very similar price point where we've had tenants living there for 3 or 4 years, and like I happen to be driving through the neighborhood and I drive by and it's like their front yard is manicured nicer than my house. You know what I mean? Like where you walk in and it's like immaculate. And if they've been there for several years, and if they were to leave right now, I'm assuming the turnover cost would literally be like minor touch-up paint from just normal like wear and tear anybody would have, and like cleaning, and that would be it. So you're talking a couple $100 on just this big of a house. And so realistically, in my opinion, and I've read it before, if somebody's renting, like the house should literally be returned to the landlord in the same condition it was rented in. And so like maybe I speak for myself, this was before I was a real estate investor, before I had any rentals. The last property that I rented, before my move out inspection, I like went, touched up paint, made sure everything was perfectly clean. The only thing that I paid was a like $150 fee for them to clean the carpet, which I thought was reasonable, because when I returned the house to them, I left it in the exact same condition it was in when I rented it. And that's the way it's supposed to be done. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that have just zero respect for other people's property, and or respect for themselves, and that's why they think it's okay to just trash stuff like this. Assholes.
How does tile get broken?
Dropping something extremely heavy, I guess. And it's all burn marks. That's crazy. Burn marks, where the hell up there?
I'm trying to figure out why there's.
How do you burn the top of the door jam?
Chase, is that hair on the wall?
Yeah.
That looks like a punch.
Yeah.
Bro, there's burn marks everywhere.
Burn marks right next to the carbon monoxide.
Fantastic.
It's a good opportunity to get rid of the ceiling.
Chat. Broken tile is killing me.
Literally you have to drop heavy stuff on it to break it like this. It's on top of something like solid, so it's on top of mortar. So it's not just like a piece of tile. It's like a piece of tile sitting on concrete, basically. If it's loose or if it's not installed right, like it's possible to break it. You still got to drop something pretty hefty on it, in my opinion, to go break it like this. And so it's like literally to drop on pots and pans or something on it.
Ryan was saying he talked to the neighbor next door, and the neighbor said he couldn't grill outside anymore because like the flies would basically come over to his house and attack him once he had like food out.
Oh, those flies. Whoa. Yes.
Oh boy. Woo. Thank you, Josh. Bro, why does it smell that bad? That is a nice bike. I don't think I want it though.
It's gotta be rotten food and stuff. Like the trap, probably full of rotten food. It's been sitting there forever. Hey, dude, they were living up in here up until like 2 days ago, and so they literally just moved out with this dirty, smelling like this. Crazy.
Boy. If a new investor is watching this and is like, I don't think I want to invest in real estate anymore, like what advice would you give them?
Dude, it's one of those things where it's like, I look back sometimes, it's like, thank God that this didn't happen to me on my first one, or my second one, or my third one, because I may not still be doing it, you know what I mean? Like, if this is your first or second rental property and this happens, it would be super discouraging. I think if you're investing with a long-term lens and you truly look at stuff through like a 20, 30-year time horizon, I 100% think that real estate investing is one of the best paths for creating long-term wealth. If you're into it, to just try to make a buck quickly and something like this happens, it's gonna take you out of the game immediately. And so I think just realizing that it's like this is like worst case scenario. This is people's worst nightmare, in my opinion, as a real estate investor. Thank God it doesn't happen all the time. Unfortunately, it does happen sometimes. So it's just, you try to do everything you can to mitigate your risk by getting good tenants. But it's like, this was a good tenant when she moved in. Something changed in her life, probably more recently, where she no longer became a good tenant. And it's just crazy how quickly it could go downhill. I've had it happen to me a couple times. Luckily, not right out of the gate. So I just say, just be realistic that this could happen, but realize this is the exception, not the norm. Unfortunately, there's bad people out there, and sometimes you get bad tenants, but it's not an everyday thing. If you got any value out of this video or what we're putting out there, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us get us out there to more people. And if you have any questions, please drop it in the comments.